Check out these insane songs that you can make with our new bass plugin, SHOCKWAVE.
I got the bag in the coupe, I got the patty on wool, I got the stash in the boob, and I'm thumbing, I'm burning.
This thing is an absolute monster with over 300 presets that all the top sound designers on our team spent a lot of time on. Our whole focus on this plugin is that it's not just about having the best samples when it comes to 808s, basses, Reese's, donk sounds, live bass recordings. A lot of times it's about how you get that perfect saturation, how you do the post-processing, exactly how you get the right types of processing you need to really make it sound perfect. And for us, we've had a ton of experiences with releasing plugins like Diablo, Vortex, as well as doing sound design on basses for over 8 years. And this plugin takes all of that stuff and builds it into one plugin where you can either use the 300 presets or drag in your own bass sounds and do a lot of cool sound design with all within one plugin. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you a secret trick to dragging in sounds that aren't supposed to be in SHOCKWAVE, but you can make some really cool stuff doing this trick. And for those of you guys who are watching on your little phone speaker or a laptop speaker, just keep in mind, this is the type of video where having some headphones in so you can really hear that low end is going to be best. So I'm going to show off some presets and how these quick, easy controls can help you really design the sound. So first, the default patch is actually a very heavy 808, okay? So for those of you guys making hip hop beats or just making some hard EDM, if you guys want a good 808, just load up the plugin and you're ready to go. The first thing I want to talk about that's a lot of fun is actually this noise knob right here. You can just hear how much grit that this noise algorithm actually adds. A lot of times you don't need much of this. You only need actually about 5 or 10%, but if you wanted to jack it up, it just gives all your 808 samples and different presets you're playing with a lot more grit. So if you're going for that disgusting, a little bit more gritty sound, it also helps the sounds kick on mobile speakers as well. Can be really fun, easy things to mess with. The next I'm gonna go over is actually this middle knob, which is actually a special saturation algorithm we had. And you can turn that up just to give it more saturation to the bass sound. Fun fact, the speaker in the middle is a little bit animated, as you can see. So a lot of different bass sounds, you can just add a little bit of saturation to it in the middle. We didn't want to overdo it because you don't need to use that much to make things sound special. And that's the special thing about this plugin in general. We really made sure that the controls are dialed kind of to where you're not going to get into these obnoxious categories, but you can really make it effective and useful. I'm going to show off some respaces with some of these effects as well. So that width knob is also very important because you can instantly widen your bass. This isn't always the best for 808s per se, but certain things, like if you want to give it more of a Reese effect, all it is just one knob in there and you essentially can really give it that wide, big sound. Actually, when I say it's not good on 808s, I lied. You can use this shit in so many scenarios. There's so many creative options with this thing. We have a lot of brass in here. There's a lot of unique presets. So if you're somebody that's maybe in the EDM world, you might be interested in some of like these donk samples, for example. Very creative stuff. So the shape knob essentially gives you instant access to shortening the sample, and sometimes it has an interesting interaction with some of the stuff under the hood, so different samples will actually react differently. But let me show you how you can just quickly shorten an 808. As you can see, when it's all the way down, it's just a little hit. So you can kind of really dial in on different types of sounds with 808s just with one knob. We even have some acoustic basses in here, which are really cool. Like I said, there's over 300 presets, but let me show you the secret sauce. So this edit tab right here in the bottom left is going to give you access to a lot deeper of the features. For you guys out there who are sound designers who would like to be little mad scientists while you're in the studio and kind of tweak sounds, because I know that's what I like to do, you're going to get access to these 5 different tabs, which are essentially a deeper dive into some of the macro knobs, so you can really customize each sound. So let's start off with the sample tab. Right here is actually the source sample that it's using. And one cool thing about SHOCKWAVE is it actually comes with an insane library of source sounds to design your 808s with. You can either click this to swap through samples. You can also drag your own in, or you can flip through all the different presets here. Or if you click this little icon, you can actually go down and you can dive into the specific sound library. And let's say you want a respace, you have all the different respaces right here. bang, within seconds there, I was able to kind of dive in and bring in a new sample. And also, this is a pitch knob. The reason the pitch knob is nice is not every sound is going to be obviously in C. A lot of bass samples you drag in, sometimes they're in D sharp or whatever it may be. That just gives you quick and easy access to change it, right? So right here you have some basic sample controls, right? If you want to change the starting point of the sample, you can. You can change the length of the sample, the in, out, right? As you can see there, just by changing the end, I created more of a swell. You can change the looping points as well as the out. A lot of this is actually kind of based on FL Sampler. We thought it was an awesome role model for this plugin. And then you have a glide knob here if you want to glide your 808s or anything like that. So next up is your envelope options. As you can see, there's a little bit of decay when I release it. So if I were to tone back the release, as soon as you let go of it, it turns off, as you can see. So you can kind of dial in your presets exactly as you want. Same thing here, you can do the attack. A slower attack on it is very easy. Yeah, just your basic options to really do everything you need to an 808 sample or respace or donk or anything like that is going to be inside of your envelopes. So this is the width. We have 3 different width modes that kind of just change the tonality of it when you apply that width. And you can also change the tone. So we'll play around with this a little bit. There's a cool little visual for this thing as well. So you can see the width of the sample. The noise I actually think in here is very important. We're actually inspired by Ableton's erosion algorithm. And what this does is it's a secret trick by a lot of top producers in the industry to give all of your samples a little bit of that high to mid-range noise. It just gives it like a sort of distorted feeling to any bass sound. Here you can kind of move it around to get different frequencies. You can also change the width of the noise itself. Just gives it a little bit of that grit that a lot of basses really need to stand out these days. If you're using maybe some of the synth basses, you have a lot of that high end, you can actually just play with the filter to kind of dial it in exactly where you want. The thing about Shockwave was it wasn't designed for any one type of bass sound. It wasn't just 808 hip hop basses. It wasn't just EDM, crazy sound design stabs or something. It was really designed with every type of bass in mind because we've been doing sound design for years. So you'll even find different retro synthesizers that we were really emulating the type of sound, doing hardware processing to get a lot of this stuff to sound authentic and really being able to use Shockwave in every scenario. Fun fact, there's a little favorite system here. All you have to do is heart the preset, and then when you go up to favorites, it'll be right there. It's very easy to save your own preset, so you can make a lot of really cool stuff with this. Let's say you have an 808 that you fucking love. It's your favorite 808. Well, guess what? Just take that 808, bring it in here, and make a whole family of derivative presets that essentially sound just like it, but are perfect for different scenarios, right? I have some of my favorite samples I brought into and made different versions of it depending on what scenario I want to use it for. So that's pretty much it, but I want to show you a little secret trick to this thing. At the end of the day, this thing is a mono sampler that can do more. And something that I've been having a lot of fun doing, I'm not gonna lie, is actually just jacking up the octaves and playing, like turning some of these like respaces into crazy leads. You can even, in theory, go and find, like, let's say one of our one-shot packs. I made a sick lead, right? All you do is just grab a one shot. So a little secret trick, Shockwave actually has a lot of capabilities if you want to make little fun leads. You know, it's funny, we intended this thing all for basses, but I've been hearing people dragging all kinds of shit into the sampler section. So sometimes it's fun if you just kind of want to mess around with it. It can do those types of things as well. But obviously it's meant for basses and all your bass needs. So whether you're a producer that just wants to dive into the presets and kind of want something fast for your workflow, it's going to work in a lot of different scenarios. That's great for you. And if you're somebody who loves and enjoys sound design and a lot of your magic is designing your own sounds, then you're really gonna love this thing as well. So the thing about Shockwave, it is not technically released right now, but if you did buy Slayer, you're actually getting this plugin 100% for free, and you're essentially getting early access to it because it's not publicly available. So as of making this video, there's still about 500 licenses out of the 1,750 available for Slayer. So it's about to sell out. So if you're watching this video, click the link in the description and go see if it's still available. If it is, I would highly recommend picking it up with Slayer, because when this thing's released as a standalone, it'll probably be around 147. And just keep in mind, Slayer is only 297 right now, and it comes with a lot of other stuff. It's definitely the best deal for this plugin. If you're watching this video later, there should be a link to either a waitlist for SHOCKWAVE or it might be out. Just go pick it up and start diving in. I know this is going to be, for a lot of you guys, a main part of your workflow because the bass sounds are just so sick. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm excited for you guys to play around with this thing and have a lot of fun. Peace out.